Hey guys, Kyle Bell with Air Down Gear Up. Today we're going to run through the installation of a drawer and sleeping platform system in a 5th gen 4Runner with the OEM cargo tray. So we're going to take you through how to actually remove the cargo tray. Pretty simple. And then we'll show you how to install our system. All right, so to start with, we're going to remove these covers from the cargo tray. The bolts that attach the tray to the slide mechanism are under here. You've got the clips on the vehicle front side and then the hooks on the vehicle rear. So to get this off, you pop those and then you peel it back. Try to get your tool right underneath the actual clip itself, and then we'll peel this back. So with those covers removed, now we're going to take a 12mm wrench and we're going to remove these 4 bolts on each side to disconnect the tray from the slide mechanism. With all those bolts removed, now the cargo tray itself simply comes off, and we will set this aside. With that out of the way, we're going to remove this piece to access the bolts that are holding the frame down. So we'll get a trim tool again, and we're going to pop the cover up on this D-ring. And then with a 10mm wrench, we'll come in and we will remove the D-ring on both sides, and then this whole piece comes off. Okay, so with those D-rings removed, now we're going to uninstall this trim piece. There's a few clips in the back, so just give it a little pop and it comes right out. All right, so with that out of the way, now we're going to remove the frame. There are 4 14mm bolts, one on kind of each corner, and then the whole slide assembly comes out. So with those 4 14mm bolts out, now the whole frame comes out. And one thing I want to point out is that on this frame, there is a little crossbar that attaches the 2 sides. You do not have to uninstall these. In fact, it makes it kind of hard if you do. So it's the big 14mm bolts, not these small ones that you remove. And then this gets set off to the side. So with that tray and the slides out of the way, last little bit, we're going to remove these brackets and then we'll pull the carpet and everything out. But these are just 2 10mm bolts. So we'll take these guys off and get the brackets out of the car. Okay, so now that we've got those brackets out of the vehicle front portion of the cargo area, we're going to get this carpet out. And in order to do that, we need to remove this trim here near the rear hatch. So again, we're going to take our trim tool, pop this off. There's actually a surprisingly elaborate mechanism that latches the carpet to the trim. So we'll show that in a little more detail to make sure that you do that without breaking anything. Like I was saying just a second ago, now that we've got that trim piece off, the carpet is attached to these clips, which are attached to the body, and you can't just pull them up. So we got to actually release the clip, and we'll do that for all of them. Now that we've got those clips off, and again, you don't want to break them, so just be gentle with them, get the clips removed, and then this carpet just peels up, and now we're down to the bare metal. All right, so now we're ready to start installing the actual system, and that's going to start with the vehicle front anchor bar that has these cutouts on it. Now you'll notice on here, there's a triangle and a plus, and that is going to correspond to a proprietary bracket that we use, and these mount directly into the threaded holes where the cargo tray was mounted and allow the anchor bar to be mounted to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay the anchor bar in here just for reference. And then we're going to take our bracket, and the triangles align with the triangles and the pluses align with the pluses. We're going to apply a little bit of thread sealer. This is a big bottle that we have in the shop. We'll supply you with a small bottle. Apply a little bit of thread lock on that, and then these simply install. We've got 4 of them across here, and then we're going to attach the anchor bar to these. So with your brackets installed, one thing to keep in mind, you can install them backwards. So just make sure that the resulting angle puts the tops of these flat so that the anchor bar can rest on top. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our double nuts, we're going to install them into the slots of these brackets. And then we're going to take our anchor bar and align that over top. There's 2 sets of holes. We are going to use the set of holes that are not recessed, and we're going to put screws with the washer into those. So next up, we're going to install the floor plates. So you will take the spacer side, put that down. There's a large hole that goes on the outside of the car, and we're going to place this onto that anchor bar. And you want to make sure that this large hole aligns with the threaded hole in the vehicle body. And then once we have that, we're gonna take our 40mm spacer, we're gonna place that into the floor plate, and then we'll place the other half of the floor plate and then the anchor bar over top of that. Take the vehicle rear anchor bar, we're gonna place that over these holes, and then we'll take our 70mm bolts here, and those drop in, and you're looking for that threaded hole in the vehicle body, and just get that started by hand, and then we're gonna come in with the wrench and torque everything down. So we'll do the same over on this side. Okay, so now that we have the floor plate installed with the anchor bar, we're gonna go through and secure the floor plate to the vehicle front anchor bar, and we're gonna put these 4 screws in with the washer. Thread those in, kind of get them started by hand, and then we'll come in with the wrench and tighten everything up. And we'll do that for... So now that we have our vehicle front and vehicle rear anchor bar ready, we're going to take the system and slide it in. And what we're gonna do is align the slots in the rails of the bottom of the system with these nuts mounted to the brackets. We'll slide that in, finalize the position, tighten everything up, and that's it for the installation. So with the system installed, before we start tightening the brackets, we're gonna verify that we have the front to back positioning correct. Deploy the sleeper. So we'll have this come out. I'm gonna move these hooks out of the way. We'll set the sleeper where it needs to go. And what we're looking for up here is we wanna make sure you can see the little hook here should align nicely with the bracket on the back of the seat. And this one looks great. So we're gonna go ahead and lock everything into position. This second row has the ability to recline. Our system preserves most of that, something like 75%. But in this installation process, one thing that you want to do before you put your seats back for the first time, we're going to take this lever here, which is your recline lever, and we're going to slide this bracket just all the way to the upright position. And that's just to ensure that we don't break anything as we're installing it. So we'll do the same on both sides. So the last bit of fine tuning that we're going to do is we're going to close the hatch, and then we're going to look at the gap between the handle and the back of the hatch. With the system now positioned, we tighten all the brackets. So with all of those brackets tightened, that completes the installation of your system in the Cargo Tray Delete 5th Gen 4Runner. Come check us out and let us upgrade your adventure.